And now, ladies and gentle turtles, the continuation of the rectification of Gladys's paint. Now, as you can see, I have this lovely car inside. Now, inside isn't the best way to get a good view of all the scratches, but with these lights up here, it's not too bad. You can clearly see what I have done and then what I haven't. And it should go all the way along here, where you can see the paint it's shiny, but it's got small marks absolutely everywhere. And by working on small areas at a time, it means I can really focus on removing any existing scratches. And even on this panel that I did here just the other day, now I can see there's actually a bit that I've sort of missed. So I need to do that bit again if I want this car to be perfect. And I do. Normally I would be thinking I want to do this outside, but what's the point? What is the point? Because I do like being outside, but with decent lighting and the help of more apostrophe another piece of carpet, I can be comfortable and I won't get wet. There simply is no guarantee that that bit of blue sky over there won't suddenly turn into rain. Oh, it is doing already. There we go. Kneeling on the floor, I can properly see the scratches on. Can you see those scratches? I'm sure you can. Well, take a good look because they won't be there for much longer. I am now going to make this door look like new. I guarantee it almost. I'm going to start again with the clay bar and the hot water. And I've just put it down. Oh, it's there. There we go. Hot water on there, thank you. That'll make me nice and soft. Well, that's the first go on that, and it reveals a couple of uglies, which is that there and that. So looks like bird poo droppings or something, and there might be another one somewhere, but I can't see it now. Yeah. Anyway, it's not entirely finished. I need to do that again. Still can't see what I can see. That's annoying. Because this paint was rough, you quickly get a result, but when you start to look at it from this angle, admittedly you don't tend to look at your car from that angle very often, you can still see there's quite a haze there. And a haze is simply not acceptable. Two marks I'm attacking with the sandpaper, and they're still there. I daren't go any deeper than that, just in case. Anyway, at the end of the month I've decided that Alfie is going to go and sawn, and so is Nigel. And I'm just going to use Gladys. And I don't want Gladys stepping out of here until this car looks absolutely beautiful. So that's what's happening here. I know it's possible, so I'm going to keep going to have the paint so glossy that it looks like it's just been put on. Now, I've made a lot of progress on the bonnet, but on the sides it seems to be more difficult, and I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to keep on going. Look at that! Wow! That's much more like it. That's really coming together when you can think it was like that before. Now, that's just lovely. It's rather lonely looking all of a sudden. Lonely and dark. The yard is missing a load of photons, and so I may as well pack up and go home. Although, of course, I can still work inside because I've got lights. The question is, do I want to? Have I run out of motivation? Well, I am happy with that. And most of this, although the bonnet wants washing again now because it's had all sorts of watery stuff dropping onto it. I think I'm going to go home and figure out which bit of video goes with which bit. So, I'll see you tomorrow or next week. So, what's happening next down here at PNG? Have a guess. Today I hope to finish off all of the paint restoration work on Gladys. And Gladys is a project now, come to think of it. I don't call these cars projects any longer, but this one has been because of how not particularly nice the paint was before. One side's not too bad now. I've just got the roof and the other side and the boot to do again, and the bumpers and that lower part down there as well. Yeah, and a couple of other scratches that I still haven't quite got out. So I anticipate spending a good part of today dealing with this. One part of a car that does tend to get neglected is the roof, because it's a bit more difficult to reach than the rest of it. And as you can see, there are an awful lot of fine scratches on this. So there's a quick washover, and from this side we can see that this C-pillar is rather rough and nasty looking as well, so I'm looking forward to dealing with this. Look, I've done something on that, but I can't even remember what it was. That's rather strange. I'm sure I didn't tackle these doors. No, I most definitely didn't. They would not look like that had I been buffing these. Oh, there's lots of marks I need to take off. Actually, yes, I did. I've just remembered something. This door and that quarter panel at the back were the first things I had to go at. But I had to go at them because they were particularly bad. And they're still not very good now, so they've all got to be done much more thoroughly than what they were before. And this front wing as well, I've had a bit of a pop on that. Of course, it's spoiled by the fact it's got a dent on the front. Dents should never really happen. Right, back to the clay bar. As you can see, it is very hard, especially in the cold. How wonderful that somebody invented boiling water. There, hard. What I'm doing is using 2 pieces of clay bar. So there's always one in the boiling water. So as one starts to cool down and go stiff, the other one can come out and carry on doing the job. And carry on going until that gritty sound disappears because you've picked out all of the nasty contaminants. And so there, do all the roof in one go because there's no point in stopping. Once that water cools down, it won't be as effective. I'd have to boil some more water, or what? Could actually stick the tub in the microwave and warm up the same water, but it's not really like I'm going to run out of water, is it? I thought I'd draw a very important map of the UK on the roof. There we go, it looks good, doesn't it? Does anybody use Twitter? I do, I have a Twitter account, but I've only got 14 followers, and it makes me wonder really if it's worthwhile bothering with. I mean, I've got 300 followers just on Facebook, so why do I need Twitter as well? It seems like everybody else has to be on there, and you need to have all platforms covered in order to be properly socially out there. But I'm not sure, and it's beginning to annoy me because all I get is notifications from people that I'm not following, like Martin Lewis, money saving expert. Nothing against the chap, but why would I want notifications from him? Wouldn't be too bad if it was just once, but you get the same message over and over again as a ping, as a notification. I guess you can switch those off. Hi, I'm a doctor, and you? How would this person, if it is a real person, possibly go through all of these answers, all of these and yous of the people that are doctors? Presumably that's what she's looking for, more doctors to associate with, because obviously all hospitals don't have enough doctors in there, and they've clearly got too much time on their hands to be actually rifling through hundreds and hundreds of pointless tweets about whether you're a doctor or not. My suspicion is that these people aren't doctors and have as much in common with a real doctor as a pomegranate. Presumably the people that have these kind of tweets that can be seen by everybody everywhere must be huge people, as in a huge public presence, and everybody knows who they are. So really you don't really need to be telling everybody what you're doing if everybody already knows what you're doing anyway. But somebody like, I don't know, who's the latest craze? Beyonce. Beyonce, she tweets something like, I'm deleting Facebook tonight because I've had enough of this. You can't delete Facebook. You can delete your account, but you can't delete Facebook. Get it right, lady. Right, that's a bit of the poor boy's black hole spread on there. But I'm running out in one of my bottles, so I've mixed it with a bit of water, which is why it currently looks much worse than it started. Wait for it to dry. And now I would like to take the opportunity to thank the sponsors that aren't sponsoring me just yet. Because you should do. I could do an awful lot of work with your products if only you'd send me a whole load more of them free. Yes, all of these kind of things will be used. You know it will. Yeah. Well, I've done the roof and I'm going to admit to feeling a little bit disappointed by the results. In many ways it doesn't really look like I've even started. It's still got a bit of misting to get rid of, but the fine scratches are all still there, so unfortunately the roof's going to be a whole sandpaper job all to itself. At the moment I'm only using sandpaper if there's no other option, because just constantly buffing away when there's scratches sometimes doesn't make any difference. Other times it does, it just reduces them and then it's fine. But that's going to need a bit more. Next is this part. And there is a small scratch, I can see it now. There's a couple around here as well somewhere, but because I've wet it, I can't see them any longer. Torch on. There we go. There. Rough. Scratch. Slightly rough bit. What do I do this time? Another one just there, and another one, and another one. There's quite... oh, that one's the worst actually. That makes that one there that I'm pointing out look a little bit insignificant actually. Can you go too far with this kind of thing? That's what I want to know. It's just a matter of opinion, isn't it? And whose opinion is the most valuable to you? Is it yours or somebody else's? I suppose that rather depends on whether your opinion is dragging you into a place where you don't really need to be at. So, which scratches should you just leave alone? Well, unless you're looking for a brand new paint job finish, then you've got to start ignoring some of them. And that's what I'm doing at the moment, because I'll always come back. Now, I always did like polishing cars, but I never used to do this kind of thing. What I would do is I'd just polish it, and then polish it again, and then do it again. And over the course of a few months, I'd just end up doing a bit more every couple of weeks or so, and it would really improve it. From here, in this light, all looks good. But then, oh look, there is definitely one there that's catching my eye, and there it is. And then you can see these other slightly hazy bits as well. So I'm going to concentrate on just a couple. That's disgusting out there, and I'm going to be walking home in this afterwards. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. Oh look, I got the sandpaper out after all, and I've got a few roughed up areas, and that scratch is almost entirely gone. What about over? Oh, is that another one there? Or is this buffer time? Smelly outside times. Yes, occasionally a tractor goes down the hill with a big tanker full of slurry or something, and the smell comes from the lane, all the lane here, and it sticks in my nostrils for a couple of minutes. So not only is it smelly time, but it's cup of tea time as well. Yes, look at that. That scratch is gone, and it's all lovely and glossy, and the other bit's gone as well. This is so satisfying. It's the scratch you can itch and do some good. I'm really pleased I got into this. This is definitely becoming a wonderful looking car. I'm really pleased by this. So, the question is, do I carry on down this side today? After all, the light's not as good down here and there's not as much room. Well, it looks like the sun's on his way home. Somewhere in the world, the sun has always got his hat on, and it's probably made of Kevlar. Driver's side, C-pillar. I've already done this once, but one of the problems with paint on cars is that it actually scratches easier than you'd think. So you can scratch it by washing it if you get bits of grit on there. You can scratch it with your fingers, with your fingernail. If it's not got any wax on, just that can cause little marks. I've got to decide whether I need the sandpaper out on this side as well, and I think I do. I think I need it for that, and I think I might need it for a couple of bits up here as well, and then I'm definitely going to need it for some of that. That looks awful. Look at that. Remember how bad this was, you know, for when it's not that bad any longer. You can really see those swirly bits. That door looks a bit better from this distance, but that was the worst one. It's true. That door had loads of horrible marks on it that quite a few have gone from. So, the only trouble is, I could do with the car being the other way round now, or at least over there. That's better. I can see it now. It wants to be under the light. Oh well, it wants to be next to the light, not so much under it. And again, this was a panel I did buff up because it was particularly bad, but I still would say it is particularly bad now. Look at all that swirling. That is awful. I think I need to correct this one right now. I'm going to do this in two halves again, the top bit, and then when I've finished I'll do this bit as well. So to help separate this, I'm going to have that there, and then I'll do this part and then that part afterwards, so that I'm not trying to do the whole lot in one go. This here, that crease line there, works quite well, which is why I'm doing that in two parts. Surprised I got that much use out of it, actually. Yes, the inevitable flat battery strikes again. Though, it's done alright actually. I've used that for a good few days, so I'm not disappointed. It just means that if I want to do any more today, it's going to have to be a different kind of thing. Like getting the sandpaper out on these doors. Like tackling that bottom part there, but I want to do that a bit first. It's not completely dark outside yet, so let's do just a bit more on the sandpaper here. On this top and that top there. As you can see, this looks quite disgusting. Look at all those little scuffy marks there. We need to get rid of all of those. Look at that one. What's happened there? These badges need to come off really to do this properly. Although it's 10 times better, that faint scratch is still there, and it still wants a bit more. So it just highlights the fact that the boot needs a lot more work than I originally put into it. And there's a cat hair there. What's that doing? I'm going to finish this for the day. Tomorrow it should be finished.